Hello, everyone. This is Zayami Eccles-Irwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Austin Comedy Film Festival. We are very excited for our Summer 2023 screening, which is going to be on July 30th at the Austin Film Society Cinema. And today we are talking to one of our participating filmmakers. Tyler Council is the writer and director of Slaw. Tyler, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you for having me, man.
So Slaw is an incredible, bizarre short. I just revisited it again this morning. I can't believe it's only 5 minutes because you pack in so much. And on this viewing, I loved it. I even felt a little bit gross. Tell me what inspired this wacky short.
Well, I'm glad you felt gross. That's one of the things you should feel. And I'm glad it felt so packed for you because sometimes I struggle with making stuff too long. But
Okay.
yeah, so it came about. I was just texting with a buddy of mine, and we were just saying random things to each other. I said slop slippers, and he said slaw soaker. And I started cracking up, and I'm like, I'm making that. And immediately pictured a super soaker that shoots coleslaw. And I think about a month or two later, we were filming it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, what's that like for you to have an idea and then kind of Kevin Smith style to just capitalize on it, whatever it may be? How do you get that process in motion?
Well, I have a sketch comedy troupe that I created a while ago, so I'm just blessed to have so many creative people around me that like literally will show up without even reading the script, just
Awesome.
because they believe in it and they know we're gonna have fun doing it. So a lot of the times it'll just be like come up with an idea, fart out a script, and do it as soon as possible. And I try to get whatever I can get done when I can because working in reality TV as a cam op, you have times when you're off and then you just don't know when it's gonna end up. You don't know when you're gonna end up back at work. So whenever I
Totally.
have time, I'm like always chomping at the bit to shoot something. So when I have an idea, I'm just gonna go for it and not overthink it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so I want to ask you a little bit. One thing that strikes me about this is that it is a polished short. You have a lot of setups, and it's filmed really nicely. You even have the slaw soaker and the kind of it's super evocative of a professional early 2000s late 90s super soaker commercial that I totally remember. It even has the Ribbons soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah.
What was that on-set process, and what was that pre-production like? Did you put a lot of effort into those aspects? Do you have a polished crew that you always work with?
Yeah, so I have a crew that I always work with.
Okay.
The director of photography, Alex Destafino, shout out to him. He did an amazing job, always does. Uh, when you have such an absurd concept, when it looks legit and it feels legit, it makes it funnier.
Totally.
So he always knows like what I'm looking for and always comes up with some interesting stuff. As far as this one, I'd say it was one of the more pre-produced ones I
Okay.
had, just because there were so many moving parts and props that we were trying to execute to make it feel legit. So I did a shit ton more than I normally do. And then we had a lot of our main Real Idiots players in there, but we brought in some new faces, which we've been doing a lot more lately to keep kind of building, getting more eyeballs on what we do.
Totally.
But yeah, I've got 300 videos on our YouTube channel, and it's mostly about 10 people that we're constantly doing stuff with, but just sprinkling some new faces and stuff lately.
Okay, awesome. So if I'm a fan of Slaw Soaker, I can find more.
Oh yeah.
Okay, awesome. It's the Real Idiots YouTube.
Yeah, so it's REEL, like
Nice.
movie reel, Real
Okay.
Idiots, and we have over 300 videos that will make you feel like you've been bitch slapped by an American bald eagle.
I love that.
But I will tell you this, and Slaw Sucker is on this playlist. When you
Okay.
go to our channel, if you click on our favorites playlist and you watch one of them and you like it, you're gonna like all of it. If you don't
Awesome.
like it, just don't waste your time.
Don't even go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Well, okay, tell me one thing. What was the onset process like? What was that dynamic like? Because you got to wonder what it's like for an actor to grab a fistful of slaw or
Right.
get it slawed in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it must have been funny, but any stories from that?
Yeah. I learned that So basically, I took a dollar store water gun,
Okay.
just like the tube with the pump at the back that looks like a big crayon,
Right.
and I opened the hole wider on the tip and loaded up with wet coleslaw, um, and went to blast the first victim in the face, and it didn't work. Then we
Didn't work.
reloaded it, didn't work. So finally, I just had to take a handful of it and chuck it, which is kind of funny because it's like a small stream coming out of the water gun, and then it's like boom, it splatters. Um, so that, I mean, we always have so much fun, and like I said, these people they know what they're getting into if they're coming onto one of my sets. So, but I was still a little nervous about that. It ended up working out. Also, another funny story was the dinner scene with the older gentleman, Pete Taggart, who's in a ton of our stuff, and he's hilarious. For some reason, he couldn't say the line, this meatloaf doesn't have a lot of dazzle and flash, just great flavor. Well, he couldn't say dazzle and flash. I can't even say it.
There you go.
I shit you not, we did 20 takes of that.
No
But
way.
we're all cracking up. It's always a good time. Like actors, even when they're done for the day, stay and hang around. And we met a bunch of new actors that day and have continued to work with them. So it's always a blast.
Excellent. Yeah, that scene was so funny, and I love all the cast that you bring in because it is hilarious.
Thank you.
Is there something that you learned from this process, being that you work in TV, you work in production, you've made a ton of these videos? Is there something new to take away from this recent one?
Um, well, yeah, I guess working with permits because we had to get a
Oh,
permit for the public park that we shot in, which was kind of funny to see everybody watching us act like children with squirt guns. But normally we don't need or pull permits.
right.
But with this one, especially with a bunch of new faces, I wanted to make sure we were covered. So I learned that you can buy insurance, general liability for one day. So basically, like you're like renting it out, and it won't break the bank. So
Okay.
if you're doing something crazy or you're doing something in a public place, you should get a permit.
Okay, I like that. This is good, practical filmmaking advice.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't learn shit.
Okay, right on. Well, keep marching, blindly forward. I dig it. What's next for you? Do you have more? I mean, I'm sure you're gonna produce more Real Idiots stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, next week, hopefully, if everything goes right, we're dropping a new video. It's a 5-minute movie trailer called Werewolf with a Gun.
Nice.
It's gonna take a good guy with a gun to kill a werewolf with a gun. So actually we shot it for a 72-hour film challenge,
Okay.
and people loved it, and we're like clamoring to that it should be a feature film. So I just sat back and really re-edited it, and there was a lot of stuff we didn't use because we kind of ran out of time. We shot
Mm,
so much stuff, so look out for that
okay.
next week.
I love it. And so maybe feature potential out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, if they can do Cocaine Bear,
Right.
why can't we do Werewolf with a Gun?
You are so right about that. Is there anything else you'd like to add about Slaw Soaker?
Go watch Slaw Soaker, y'all, and thank you to everybody that's already watched it. Thanks for all the support, and I'm heading out to Austin, so I'm stoked to be out there.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Tyler. We're gonna have a great time screening this in Austin on July 30th. I want to see if it's the fistful of slaw or the slippers that makes people gasp. And
I'll take either one.
yeah, you might even have some
Hopefully
people
both.
running out of the theater, which is cool. All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna look out for more from you, and as soon as we disengage here, I'm gonna pop over to YouTube. I'm just gonna binge watch all your movies.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Real idiots.
Appreciate that.
All
Thanks
right,
a
man.
lot.
Thank you.
Check it
Take
out.
care.
Peace.